Hey YouTube, today's going to be a video about just some barter items that you might want to consider for whenever it hits the fan. So yeah, I'll go ahead and start off over here. We have just some ammunition, pretty obvious. Yeah, people are going to be going through it really quick, most likely. Most people that even have guns don't have a very large supply. They have like maybe a couple boxes at a time for like hunting, and then maybe they buy like 500 rounds to go shooting or something like that, like for target practice, but that can be used up very quick. So yeah, I see that being as like almost like a sort of currency. Say like you don't even have like, I don't know, 38 special, like you don't have any gun that fires that round, and there's like some kind of barter system set up. You might trade someone something for 38 special if they're giving you a good deal, if you know someone who has it, or like you know someone who knows someone that has it. It could almost be kind of become like a medium of exchange, kind of like a real currency almost. I could foresee that happening, but yeah, definitely going to be a valuable thing. And kind of with all these items, it goes to say like these are also items that you need, so like kind of think about like, do I need to stockpile like extra just for bartering, or just see how it goes, or what? That's gonna be up to you. I don't really have a one-size-fits-all solution, but yeah, those are things that can be. These are just things that can be traded, or maybe say like you have like a ton of water stored, but like your preps like really lack in like fuel or something. Like you just don't have enough fuel. You could trade like a bunch of water for fuel or something like that to fill in the gaps in your preps whenever it hits. So then next we have some toilet paper, and I think hygiene items like that aren't easily replicable. Which toilet paper, like there's some plants you can use, but usually in most places they're not found all year round. So yeah, and just like having that comfort is going to be really important for some people, to give you a sense of like normal life and stuff. And any kind of hygiene item like that, like, you know, like diapers and tampons too, are obviously like people are going to want those. It's going to be in high demand. And we've just got some ibuprofen, and that's just kind of a substitute for like any medicine, especially painkillers. I think will be very important, and might also sort of kind of form as like a sort of currency. I think it's something like a third of Americans have like chronic pain like every day, and whenever they don't have their medication, any kind of painkillers are going to be in high demand, and people are probably going to be getting hurt more too. So yeah, that'd be a good thing to stockpile, and ibuprofen is very cheap. You can get like 100 tablets for just a few dollars. Yeah, so that's something you can easily stockpile a lot more of than you would use and be able to barter. Another kind of medications too. It's kind of hard to save up prescription stuff. You're not really supposed to, but yeah, even just like over-the-counter stuff would be good to have. So then I got some soup, so that's a stand-in just for food. Obviously, people are gonna have a harder time getting food, so I think that will always be a pretty safe item to have. But again, that's something that you also use yourself a lot, so it's kind of hard to decide like how to go about with bartering that. But I think that'd be a very important item. You can trade all sorts of things for it, because everyone's gonna need food. And it might be an issue where it's like, sure, like you can hire someone to do labor for you in exchange for food. That would be probably a good system. And then just some water. So I think water, the thing with that is, if you live in a place like I do where like there's like lots of rivers and streams and stuff, it's not gonna be as big of an issue, but early on it definitely will be, because a lot of people just aren't gonna have a way to like even filter that water or make it safe to drink. So if you have a lot of water stored up and you do have a filter, that's something you can kind of like trade off pretty easily. And yeah, especially early on, like people that survive late into it are gonna have a way to filter water, but yeah, early on people are not. They're gonna need clean drinking water once the faucets stop running. So yeah, that'd be a good thing. And you need to survive, so if they get desperate, they'll want to trade like almost anything for it, making that a very valuable item. Then I've just got batteries, and that's kind of stand in for like all fuel sources. Yeah, batteries are going to become a lot more important fuel source than they are now, because people are going to rely on like handheld devices like flashlights and stuff a lot more. Because like once the power's off, you're not going to be able to do any work at night without a flashlight or some kind of like light source like that. Making batteries very important, and for running other things too. So yeah, I would recommend having like all different kinds of batteries, and maybe even batteries types that you don't really have any use for. Could be good for like trading and stuff. And then you'll know for sure you have something that you can trade, and it's not something that you're gonna like be worried that you're gonna need yourself. And then we just got like a lighter. So yeah, with this, like obviously fire making will become a lot more important of a thing, and this is probably the easiest way to do it. It's something I had watched somewhere. I was talking about a guy, I think it was in one of the Baltic nations. There was like a civil war or something, and his city was basically shut off with no aid coming in. People were just kind of stranded there. There was lots of fighting going on. It lasted for like years, I guess. And he was talking about, in his experience, someone who had like 100 pack of Bic lighters was like a king, because they could get whatever they wanted for those Bic lighters, and they had so many to trade. Next up here is toothpaste. That's just kind of known as hygiene items. I think people are going to find useful and important. It's not really something that's easily replicated in the wild, so anything like that would be good to have to trade. Then I have a gun. Most people that survive long into it are already going to have guns, but even at that point, I think it could be an item that could be traded, and obviously you'd want to be picky about who you trade that with. You don't want it to be used against you. But yeah, in the beginning I could see like definitely there'd be people who wouldn't have them, who maybe it's like that kind of hippie prepper type who has like a big garden and like lots of food, but just like is against guns or whatever. They might change their mind real quick once they see the things that are happening around them. So you could trade that for all sorts of things. But yeah, people that live later on, like who survive into it, maybe they're just kind of like the like the FUD types. They have like a couple, like maybe a hunting rifle and a hunting shotgun, but that's about what they got. And they might need something like an AR, say, for like actual like fighting against people, not hunting. And that would be something you could trade to them, which obviously it's going to be very valuable to you too. But I know a lot of people who are the types who have like 300 guns or something, like just way more than they could ever use. And those people will be set up to trade that kind of thing and be in good shape. Then the last thing I have is something probably a lot of people haven't thought of, but I think people will be willing to do a lot to get information. So this is like a little solar, and this radio, it can charge from solar, crank power, has batteries inside. It can run off that too. And then you can see right here you have FM, AM, the weather band, and shortwave. And obviously if the power is out, more than likely like FM and AM radio will be out. Not necessarily, but most likely if power's out for like the whole area. But you might be able, like a lot of people will probably be on the shortwave, and I think that's like ham radios and stuff too. And so I can't talk to them with this, but I can listen in. And like even if it's a situation where the power is still on, but like the news isn't, like it's a martial law type deal or something where the news isn't allowed to say what's actually happening. If you tune into like shortwave, you might be able to get information. And then even when the power's out, people will still be broadcasting on ham radios, and you can get information from them. I can foresee a situation where maybe there's like another family or something, and they want to listen to the radio and kind of get some information. You say like, sure, come over tonight for dinner, and we'll all like listen to the radio, but you're bringing dinner for the whole family. I could definitely see that kind of situation happening. So yeah, those are just some items that kind of come to mind for me immediately. Let me know in the comments like anything you would add. This obviously is an all-inclusive list, or just thoughts on this. Have a good day.